There are so many places to visit in France, and this was just a 2-week trip. Our first campsite was at Drancourt, not far from Abbeville. We stayed in a tent. But not just any tent. This is a kitchen, a dining table and proper beds. The nearest town is the quaint little port of Saint-Valery-sur-Somme. As its name implies, it's on the River Somme, just before it empties into the English Channel. After 2 nights at Drancourt, we moved on to Maison Lafitte in the suburbs of Paris. It's here that we moved up market somewhat to stay in a caravan. Quite spacious and considerably more comfortable. One of the great things about Maison Lafitte, apart from being a typical Parisian town, is the metro route straight into the centre of Paris. The next leg was quite a big one and took us down through the Massif Central to l'Argentière, due west of Montélimar. This part of the Ardèche is beautiful, and if I hadn't been clinging to the steering wheel down the winding N102, I'd have had the camera out. L'Argentière is a medieval walled city that's well worth a visit. The campsite has a particularly nice pool area. Moving on now, our destination was Doussart, just beyond the southern tip of Lake Annecy. The drive through the foothills of the Alps is beautiful. And look, we've moved up to a cabin. It's about 12 miles into Annecy. You can hire bikes and cycle along the old railway track, or do what we did and drive. There's a car park on the right just after the roundabout where the D41 turns off. Annecy is a beautiful town. And now to our last site at Berny-Riviere. It's just on the outskirts of Vic-sur-aisne, which is a typical northern French town. The campsite's pretty large, but the highlight for us was the day trip to here. We thought that Disneyland would be over-commercialised, screamingly busy and full of wild children. Okay, the weather wasn't great, but it was quiet, and there was barely any queues, so it didn't stop us having a great day out. We managed to catch all of the parade before running for the bus back to the campsite. One day isn't really long enough, and you do miss the fireworks, but it's a great way to test out whether you like Disneyland without committing a lot of time and money to a trip.